All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to you elect Akim across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. All right, I'm the brother Sha'ar from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, and I want to ask a question based to these other camps that are out here that like to get on us for saying we have 100% truth. All right. Did Yahawashi have 100% truth? Okay. Now, anybody in their right mind who claims to believe in Yahawashi will say, of course, duh. Okay. But when we say we have 100% truth, they say there's an issue with that. All right. Now, there was a lesson done about a week ago from Elder Yashawamba, the big bro, the deacon Bonsapat, and myself, and we went into this on what the 100% truth means when we say that we have the 100% truth. All right. It's not a thing based on our egos. It's not a thing based on just us. No, we're not doing anything about us when we say it. We're not glorifying in ourselves. What we're doing is boasting in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi that rests within his men. And if you claim to be a believer of Yahawashi, you're supposed to believe the fact that you have the truth as well. Okay. There is no such thing as a piece of the truth. There's no such thing as a small percentage of the truth. All right. It's either you have the truth or you don't. It's either you believe or you don't. It's either yay or nay. All right. Do you believe or don't you believe? Does his spirit dwell in you or doesn't it? All right. That's what it boils down to. Okay. Now, the reason why I wanted to ask this question is because people like to come at us when we make those claims to the spirit that the men of Great Millstone, starting with our apostles on down, said we have the 100% truth. And what they claim is, if you have 100% truth, why don't you know when the mark of the beast is going to come? Or why don't you know this? Or why don't you know that? Okay. And naturally, the thing about it is, it's just the truth. Yeah, we don't know when the mark of the beast is going to be implemented. We know how. We know how it's going to take place. We know it's written of in the scriptures. We don't know when that's going to take place. We don't know exactly when the judgment's coming. We don't know when they're going to start pressing the buttons for the nukes. No, we don't know when World War III is going to officially go down over there in the valley of Yahawashi, when Armageddon's going to take place. Now, are we lying when we say that? No, it's the truth. We know it's going to take place. We don't know we don't know the dynamics of how to the T, but we know it's going to take place and we believe it because the scriptures prescribes it and we speak about it. All right. I got a scripture I'm going to pull up really quick. And it's in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 9. And a lot of these scoffers and people out there like to go to this scripture, which we go to it as well, but they don't have understanding on what the scripture says. Okay, so Paul said in 1 Corinthians 13 and 9, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. All right. Now, they pull the scripture out and try to point it towards us. And they use the scripture to clearly say, or not to clearly, they use the scripture to say that we can't have 100% truth. All right. They use the scripture to say we don't know certain things. And it's not meant for us to know certain things. Okay, which to a degree, yes, we don't know exactly, like I stated before, we don't know when the mark of the beast is going to be implemented. We don't know when the nukes are going to fall, but we prophesy about it. We prophesy the stuff that is to come. All right. But when you go into this scripture, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. All right. We know about the things that are coming. OK, a lot of things we haven't physically experienced yet, so we can only prophesy about it. We know the kingdom of heaven is coming. We know the elect are going to get new bodies and the elect are going to be translated, Lord willing, with those men. But we don't know the exact way it's going to take place. We know the elect are going to get beamed up in the chariots, but we don't know what the inside of it looks like to the T. We don't know these things. We prophesy about it, and that's the truth. All right. We don't know the exact way to the T, how Esau is going to use the mark of the beast and push it on a large scale. We know it's out here. We prophesy about it, right? We know Esau poisons the foods. All right. We know he uses pink slime and everything. We don't know how he creates the pink slime. We don't know how he creates these different viruses, but we prophesy about it. And it's the truth at the end of the day. It's happening, right? We're speaking about it. We have the 100% truth. And that's just the simple fact of the matter. Now, the question that I asked earlier, which this is going to be the title of the lesson, does Yahawashi have the 100% truth? And again, any Israelite with their right state of mind is going to say, of course, duh, yes. All right. But since you all like to ask us these questions and say, since you don't know these things, you can't have the 100% truth. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 36. I'm sorry, 24, verse 36. And it says, and this is Yahawashi speaking, it's written in red, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who is the truth. It says, but of the day and the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels in heaven, but my Father only. Yahawashi clearly stated, when it comes to that hour that's to take place, judgment and destruction, he says, no man knoweth, not himself, not the angels, only our Father. Only Yahweh knows those things. Are the angels all knowing? Absolutely. Is Yahawashi the truth? Absolutely. But Yahawashi don't even know when he's going to come back. So the same way you ask us the question and try to point the finger at us and say, if you don't know those things, how do you have the truth? Ask the same question to Yahawashi then. Shalom.